It was at that moment that Phineas felt pure terror. Who would have thought that the plain old man in front of him was the executioner? Why had the executioner visited them personally? "How dare you hit me?" His head spinning, Matt pulled himself up and roared. "You're dead! It's over for all of you. Men, finish them off." "Stop!" Phineas yelled before falling to his knees before the old man. He frantically begged, "Sir Albert, we don't know what we've done to incur your wrath, but please forgive us." "Have you gone crazy, Dad? Why are you groveling?" Matt was in disbelief. He didn't understand why his dad was begging the old man for forgiveness when they were on the winning side. "What do you know, you moron? We can't afford to mess with them, so hurry up and kneel." Phineas frantically signaled Matt. "I'm not kneeling." Matt looked around maniacally. "What do you mean we can't afford to mess with them? There are only 3 of them. We'll be able to drown them with just the piss of our men alone." "You dumbass! Do you have any idea what you're saying? This is the executioner we're talking about." Phineas' face was ashen. In front of the executioner, they were merely ants waiting to be squashed. "What executioner? I've never even heard of him. He'll still die today even if he's God." Matt shouted arrogantly. Alfred chuckled when he heard that. "Interesting. I almost don't wish to kill you now." "You think losers like you can kill me? Arrogant bastards." Matt sniggered. Last night's events had twisted him inside, and he yearned to let that hatred out. "It's over. Everything's over." Phineas collapsed onto the floor, his face pale. Why did he have to have such a stupid son? How could Matt hurl insults at the executioner? "You're trying to compete in numbers? All right, then. Let's see who has more men." The large man waved his arm, and synchronized footsteps were heard immediately. Soon, armed men charged into the place from all directions, surrounding everyone instantly. The guards were fully geared up and donned black masks. Their gazes were sharp, and they gave off a murderous aura that made people turn their heads away instinctively from fear. The Laney family guards were nothing compared to these men. No words or threats were exchanged, but clangs rang out as the Laney family's guards, who were terrified by the new arrivals, threw their weapons down and stood aside. Matt froze at the sight of the geared men, his haughtiness vanishing rapidly, and terror took its place. What happened? Where did all those men come from? Aren't we competing by numbers? Who has more men now? The bulky man waved again, and the men drew their swords in unison, overwhelming everyone with their presence. Matt felt the strength leave his legs, and he collapsed to the ground. "Sir Alfred, please go easy on us." Phineas crawled toward Alfred and begged. "My son has lost his mind and doesn't know what he's doing. Please spare his life. Then, you'll have to die in his stead." Alfred drew a sword from the burly man's back and threw it to the floor. Calmly, he said, "Only one of you can live. Make your decision." In the morning, at the airport, Edwin and Tina waited in front of a Rolls-Royce Phantom. "Dad, we've already been waiting for 2 hours. Why isn't Joshua here yet?" Tina glanced around, looking anxious. "It's normal for flights to be delayed. Let's wait it out a little longer." Edwin looked calm. Last night, he'd suddenly received a call from Joshua, saying he'd completed his refinement, which meant he was now the Hummer family's trump card. As they spoke, a young couple exited the airport. The man was handsome and dignified, giving off an air reminiscent of a sharp blade, making one unable to look him in the eye. The woman beside him was dressed in red and equally outstanding. She was beautiful, elegant, and looked powerful. "Dad, he's here." Tina's eyes lit up with excitement. She'd been eagerly anticipating his return. "Josh, you're finally back." Edwin approached him with a bright smile. "Sorry to keep you waiting, Dad." Joshua smiled and gestured to the woman beside him. "Allow me to introduce you to Jade Grant, my fiancée." "Jade Grant?" Edwin looked taken aback before asking tentatively. "Is she the 3rd daughter of the Grant family?" "Yes, that's right." Joshua smiled. "Nice to meet you, Mr. Hummer." Jade nodded. Yes, nice to meet you, too. As expected of a daughter of the Grant family, you're the very embodiment of beauty and grace." Edwin looked delighted. He never would have expected his son to be able to win the Grant family's favor. The 5 wealthiest families in Millsburg were known as the Fabulous 5, but there were 3 other families even more powerful than them, the Tremendous 3. The Grant family was one of them. If the Hummer family could form an alliance with the Grant family through Joshua's marriage with Jade, they'd have a bright future ahead. "Dad, why did you summon me home so urgently?" Joshua asked when they were all in the car. He'd just completed his refinement the night before when he'd been told to return immediately. "I hate to say this, but Swinton has a new kid on the block. He's powerful beyond our expectations and has defeated all my men. Our family's been having a tough time recently because of him. I had no choice but to summon you home." Edwin sighed, looking helpless. "Exactly. You have no idea how obnoxious he is, Joshua. He even beat me up on my birthday over the smallest things." Tina started to complain. "Look at what he did to my arm. I've yet to fully recover. I've never been treated like this in my life. You have to get back at him for me." "Who is this guy? How dare he bully a member of the Hummer family?" Joshua's face darkened, and a menacing aura surrounded him. "His name is Dustin Rhys, and he's not someone to be taken lightly," Edwin said. "He also has the Harmon family backing him up." Edwin said, "The Harmon family?" Jade chuckled lightly. "They're only one of the fabulous 5. They don't hold much.